Welcome to Species TV on speciesnutrition.com. I'm Director of Marketing Sadiq Faruqi. It's been an exciting time here with Species Nutrition, with Team Species. We have grown as a family. One of the most exciting things over the last weekend was that one of our athletes became an IFBB Pro, the culmination of a long and arduous journey, a very interesting journey, but it is a journey now that takes on a new chapter. We are joined by that athlete from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Lorenzo Orozco. Actually now IFBB Pro, Lorenzo Orozco. Lorenzo, let me start you with that question. What does it feel like to be identified by that title?
Wow, hi to everyone. I have to say that I realizing that right now those are big letters. I never thought in the first place that I was going to be there, because it takes a long way to get there. A lot of hard work, but I work day by day. And I have my situations, you know, getting on point in my condition. I get sick 6 days. I was in bed just a week prior to the competition. I was, you know, it was frustrating, but I never quit. And it feels amazing after all the hard work. Now I'm an IFBB Pro.
Well, Lorenzo, of course, the overall winner in the men's physique division at the North American Championships this past weekend in Pittsburgh. Talk to us about the show, your performance, and the process leading to you being crowned at the end of the show as champion, as overall winner.
Wow! Last year I was in the same show. My performance wasn't good because I was learning. It was a year ago, but this time I learned so much. After Atlantic States, Team Universe, and a year, you know, of all that information, of all the process that I've been, I was feeling great, you know, comfortable, confident to be there on stage. As I told you before, I was sick and I was worried about my condition because I gained a week before like 6 pounds of water, and I was trying to get right on point. But I have to say that it was a great competition with very long, because, you know, men's physique is getting bigger and bigger, and it was like 1,200 athletes, and you know, I work hard. My experience was incredible. You know, it was a surprise for me. I'm always do my best no matter what, and I did it.
You had a series, Lorenzo, of second place finishes, high finishes, and as you just referenced, the Team Universe second place only a couple of months ago. You had a lot of confidence going into this show, however. Repeatedly you had said, this is going to be the moment, this is going to be the moment that I'm finally going to get that pro card. What changed? What was the difference between your previous shows and going into this show knowing that you were going to be there and be crowned the winner in the end?
Absolutely, the posing. I was in the first 3 second places, the first shows. I was feeling confident. I went there with a great package, the best package of my life. Johnny knows that. Johnny knows me since my beginning on this sport, and we worked for that. We worked to get there on stage with the right package. But my posing, it was not the best. You know, that's why Kenny Wallach helped me, and he fixed me in the best things, and I went there with the right posing and more confident with myself, because finally I know what I was doing.
Well, you mentioned Kenny Wallach. Kenny Wallach, known as really one of the premier posing coaches in the industry. How did that relationship come about, and what did he teach you that finally put you over the top at the North American Championships?
Well, I met him in the New York Pro. I went to the New York Pro just to watch it, just to be there, watching the pros in real time, not in pictures, not in videos, you know. And I met him there. He's a great guy. We spoke a little bit about a few things. He came to Puerto Rico. Between Johnny Styles and me, we made this seminar to educate the people in my country, all the men's physique and athletes that didn't have the chance to have a coach like him. And in Puerto Rico, we practiced a lot. He fixed me, and we keep in communication by email, pictures, small videos. And then once I get in Pittsburgh, we meet, and we finally practice with the last details, and I was ready. Everything went right.
Well, you mentioned Johnny Styles, our excellent director of production. He, of course, one of many influences that helped you along the way. Now, you have a very robust and interesting background. You started off as a track and field athlete. You're an athlete. That's been your basis. You're also a Hollywood stuntman. You've gotten acting roles. But let's talk specifically about your evolution as a competitor. Talk to us about some of the influences that have helped you along the way, from your first shows, learning the ropes, and now to the point where you're a professional competitor, and now you're really looking to make your mark.
Stephanie, okay.
So yeah, talk to us about these influences that you've had along the way, who you attribute a lot of the credit to, and how they've helped you from a beginner in this sport to now to the point where you're a professional.
Wow, it's a long story and a beautiful story. I've been a track and field all my life, and I've been working in television commercials. And I've always been in shape because I like it, because I like to the weight training, the track and field. Also, even training the baseball players, I've been training too with them. And by 2012, I competed in Puerto Rico in classic bodybuilding. Also, I went to the Central American Games there. But after all my performance, with my trainer, Carlos Ayala Cholo, he is one of the pioneers in Puerto Rico, one of the best trainers. And we decide. I was with Johnny in Puerto Rico when Johnny said, "Listen, you got the potential to be in the NPC. You got to try it because you already won everything here." And he was right. I started to transform my body a little bit bigger with the right dimensions that NPC, men's physique category, requires. And it was a long journey because on every competition I went very excited to do it. But on every competition I learned something, because in Puerto Rico we don't, as I told you before, we don't have posing coach. We don't have information, and right now that's why we did the seminar to help others to give something back. And my first competition in Poughkeepsie in 2012, I get on a fifth place. And I spoke with Beth Francis, and she recommends me to have a wider back, rounded shoulders, because my waist were kind of blocky. So I started work with that. For the second competition on New Jersey, Garden State, I get in a third place, and I had a great condition, but my posing was kind of it was without salt and pepper. You got to put something on it, but I was standing straight and everything, but requires specific things. And after that, I went to Las Vegas for nationals, without any, like that. I never had exactly which condition to bring to the stage, because on the beginning of the men's physique started 2011. Then I started competing in 2012. The bodies of the athletes have been changing so much. Right now, everybody is so hard, so ready, that the judges consider the posing. If you don't have the right posing, you're gonna lose. A guy softer than you is gonna win. So every time it's been changing, and as I said, I don't have the information in my country. That's why Johnny has been in the States helping me, sending me information, posing seminars of Kenny Wallach, more information, pictures, and I've been feeding myself with knowledge. And right now at this point, I got everything on the table. Cost me a lot. That's why we did the seminar, because this is expensive from Puerto Rico to travel to the States and to compete. Very expensive, traveling, hotel, inscriptions is very expensive. So I did that. That's why we did it. But finally, in New York, in my last two competitions, I was almost there. But the only thing that I was needing, it was the posing. It's all about the posing. You can have a great body. In the next 2 years, I think there's going to be a lot of great athletes with incredible proportions and everything, but it's going to be about personality, about being confident. Men physique is the category of the future.
So, Lorenzo, I'm holding up the baseball right now that you were kind enough to give me. This baseball was signed by Alex Rios, right fielder of the Texas Rangers. You mentioned before that he is someone that you've trained, and for those that don't know you, you have worked with some of the top Major League Baseball players around. Some of the names we have batted around that you've told us that you've worked with, even either officially as their trainer or partially, Carlos Beltran, Jorge Posada, Ricky Leday, of course Alex Rios. So these are all names that people watching are going to be familiar with. But Johnny actually brought up a great point before we started this interview. Now that you are a professional and now that you are going to be transitioning to more serious competition, trying to elevate your professional rankings and eventually the ultimate goal, going to the Olympia, you, after your win, you had an interview with Sadiq Hadzovic of NPC News, and now this seems to be something of a decision you're going to have to make. How do you now balance all that you have going on, being a trainer, being a Hollywood stuntman, and now being part of this circle now, interacting and training with fellow physique competitors and really taking this to the next level?
Wow, that's the question that a lot of people asked me many times. What did you like the most? And I said all of it, because I work by myself. I have the time, and I put all my priorities first. And I'm a trainer. If I had to travel to do a movie, I can do it. Right now, if I'm competing, competitions are on the weekends, and it's something that I'm doing for my profession. It's an investment for my profession, just being an athlete and being a trainer. So I'm very happy, because it takes me a lot of time, but I'm blessed. I think I said today that I'm born for this, because I've been a track and field athlete all of my life. I remember when I was in 6th grade, very excited to run on the field days or marathons, or all the time I've been into sports. And once I finished my degree in business in Puerto Rico, I work in a few things part-time, but I decided, okay, I'm going to be a trainer, because this is a beautiful profession to help people, and it's involved with the health, and this has a lot of future. And being a IFBB Pro right now, right now I think I'm going to be, my profession is going to be bigger and bigger. It's been a long journey, but I have to say that I'm blessed, and I've been working also. Let me tell you about this. I've been working with the professional baseball players in collaboration with a few, with Edgar Diaz, which is a pole vaulter, Puerto Rico champion. We worked together many times. We were like a team working together. We're a group of baseball players, and sometimes I was in charge of a few of them because he was traveling. But right now I'm in charge of Alex Rio for this is going to be the 4th year, and his performance since the last 4 years from now has been great. It's been amazing. And I have to say that I'm blessed, and this is my life.
So again, you are this is a part that we get asked about all the time, the fact that you are a Hollywood stuntman. You have possibly a few roles coming up, but interestingly enough, at the North American Championships in Pittsburgh, The Rock, of all people, The Rock was there. Now, you told us a funny story before we went on air about how you almost had a chance to work with The Rock. Why don't you tell our listeners about that story?
Yeah, the Fast and the Furious 5 was filmed in Puerto Rico. And as a stuntman, I get picked with a great position, but I had to cancel that show because I was at the same time I was working on an FX show, a boxing show in New York. I was working with Holt McCallany, and I was his trainer. I put him in shape to look like a heavyweight champion of boxing. So it was more that job. It was more deep into my feelings. We were friends. We worked together in another movie, and he hired me for that. but the opportunity to be in Fast Five shows up, but I cancel it. So I finished my show in New York, the boxing show. And when I came back to Puerto Rico, I was like, I almost cried because I was hanging out with a group of stuntmen, even with the Rock Double, that is his cousin. And everybody knows me because I was already on the cast working with them. But I was so like sad for a couple of weeks because there was so much adrenaline on that movie, and I was always all the time watching that. But that happens. Sometimes I've been doing two movies at the same time as a stuntman, but this time I can't be in the same place at the same time, so that happens.
So, of course, you now are a species athlete, a species-sponsored athlete, and again, we're very happy to have you on board. What can you say about the support you've received from species, from the species athletes in your journey, and, of course, the products that you've been taking?
Wow, products. I was using the products a couple of months ago, getting ready for my competitions. Also, even the clothing that I love it, like I have right now. Look, you know,
there you go.
This brand has a strong personality. I love it. And you know, the support from species is been incredible. I never expected that because it's the first time I'm the first Puerto Rican athlete in the island, sponsored by a brand. And for me, I see this like a door that opens for more stuff. Already moving, I already moving myself, and I'm gonna do the best to promote this brand in the Latin market. Yeah, and I have to say that I was impressed because all the time, species are being given to me updates of everything that I've been doing. That's great, and I feel connected 100%, and I'm the kind of guy that I'm going to be overworking 24/7 to reach more goals. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Just turning an IFBB Pro for me is like a door that opens, and I'm starting right now from zero in the big leagues. And also with next to me is going to be species, and I'm going to do the best for me, and I feel great. It feels like a great combination. Like I'm blessed. Like IFBB Pro with a great brand next to me, and a lot of good things are going to happen. You'll see.
Well, what can you say about your favorite species products that you've enjoyed taking over the last couple of months?
Wow, the Isolize, amazing. Vanilla peanut butter flavor is great. Zero carbs, zero sugar. Also the Protolize, the pudding, which I tried when I went to New York for the New York Pro. I had the opportunity to visit the offices. That's when I met you guys, and I tried the pudding, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I received it by mail later, and I tried the product. I've been recommending the product to many of my clients. Everybody loves it. Johnny came to Puerto Rico with the brand, and all the products were sold out, even the T-shirts, everything. So, and the people still asking for it. Also, I've been trying, you know, the pre-workout. I use it too for training, and I had a list, and I've been reading about so many products, interesting, like the Carbolize, the Testolize, Fiberlize, the Omegalize, and also the macadamia nut oil to cook my meals because, you know, I'm eating all the time. So I'm very happy because I'm gonna have my stack full of powerful products, and I'm gonna be promoting the products because, you know, definitely those products works.
And finally, one last question, Lorenzo. Now that you're an IFBB Pro, fans want to know what's next. What is? I'll try it again. I went all 60 minutes there. All right. 3, 2. And one last question, Lorenzo. Now that you're an IFBB Pro, fans want to know what's next. What can we expect from you in this upcoming year? Can we expect a shot at the Olympia in 2015?
Absolutely, that's my dream. But I had another dream first, which is being on stage to qualify on a pro show. So I'm gonna do a good off season right now, relax, and I'm gonna take my time to decide which is the competition that I have to be. Absolutely, I want to be in the New York Pro because it's a big competition. I love the city. there's a lot of magic there, and it's gonna be it's gonna feel great to be on that show. But I know how hard it is to get an Olympia show against all the guys that are in front of me. But that's why I'm gonna do a great off season. I trust in my package, and I'm gonna take my body to another level because I already know exactly what they're looking for. And definitely, yes, I would love to be in 2015. I'm going to do the best as I can to try to qualify to be on that show.
Lorenzo, before we let you go, could we get a shot of the trophy display that you were showing us before we went on air?
Okay, let me show you here.
Oh, there it is.
There it is, the big trophy in the middle. Overall, 4th place in 35 Masters and 1st place in Masters. And in back of those trophies are all the NPC trophies and medals from Central American Games and local trophies from Puerto Rico.
That is excellent. And that display is only going to grow. Lorenzo Orozco, now IFBB Pro Lorenzo Orozco. Congratulations on the big win and all the best on a very bright future.
Thank you so much. People that are watching this interview, I recommend follow your dreams. Nothing is for free. Everything takes time, dedication, sacrifice. Just do what you love every day. Focus and use the right information. Follow the right people on this kind of journey. But keep dreaming and keep working hard. You're going to get there, absolutely.
So that is now IFBB Pro Lorenzo Orozco, Species-sponsored athlete. Keep it locked to speciesnutrition.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
This is IFBB Figure Pro Heather Dees, and I love my Species ISO bag. If you want to be like me, go to speciesnutrition.com and order yours today.